Hi, I'm Paul from Test Data Services, and I'm going to step through email catching in this video. So we're going to focus on some simple email catching to start with, and a follow-up video will go through quite a lot more depth so that you can see how much you can do with Test Data Services. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a subscription. Like in an earlier video, we use subscriptions for a lot of keys, and if you have a subscription, you can create lots more and then use those. And you can use this particular subscription here, that's that one starting with DNQ, if you like to play with it, but I wouldn't suggest that you incorporate that into your real tests because it's rate limited, and if other people use it heavily, it may not always work because it may hit that rate limit. If you get your own subscription, you won't have that problem. So we've got a new subscription. We're going to grab a new identity and we're going to fetch the email address from this identity. So this is James Sluchiak. And we're going to now, I'm going to actually do a real email so you can see it come from a real email client. I'm going to copy that email address. I'm going to put it into here to 2, like that. This is coming from paul@testdataservices.com.au, and I've got some text here. This is some random text for an email. Let's just change that. We'll put the person's address in so that you can tell that it's really this email that's just come through. Now the first thing I need to do in here is I need to clear any messages to make sure that there's no existing messages, and it also sets up the subscription processing so that I know whose subscription to decrement when an inbound email comes through. And now I'm going to send the email. And now if I get message, there'll be nothing there to start with. Get again. Now we've got the message. So from the time when I hit that clear to when the message was received, it was 23.9 seconds. That's useful to know. Now, if we look at that payload, I forgot what we wrote in the payload. Let's say PIPER. Search for PIPER. And we can see here, we've got some random text for the email and 16 Piper Street, Quinns Rocks, WA. So you can see that we really did get that email address. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset another message, and this time I'm using the email address, James again, and I'm doing a from domain of testdata.email and the same subscription key. Actually, I'll do this again. It doesn't matter how many times I do it. Now I'm going to send an email. Now this is actually really sending an email, but it's limited so that it can only send to other emails in this domain of testdata.email. Now I've sent one. So if I now do a get, we'll now see the email message, the full message contents, and we'll also see in here the latency. So the latency here was the amount of time from when I hit clear to when the message was received after I hit send. So on the back end, it took 5.7 seconds. That's quite useful to know. Also, you can see that we've got the email address and from domain in here, and the UID. Another earlier video talks all about how to make use of UIDs so that we can save other data, do data tagging, and we can do all sorts of other things based on the identity. This allows you to fetch that particular identity and get passwords or whatever else you need. So now if I was to send a bunch of emails, not just the one, so that's the second one, that's the third one, fourth one, let's do a total of 5. What I can do, actually I'll send one more, I'll send a 6th one. Now I'm going to pop emails. So when I pop an email, what it's doing is it's letting me fetch each of them in sequence. So it says a serial of 1, it's a serial number, and that was 5.7 seconds. And then the next one was 69 seconds in, and the next one 72. Then serial number 4, serial number 5, and serial number 6. Now I only did 6, and it was 95 seconds after the first clear, and now there's no data. So what that lets you do is it lets you step through all of them. So if you've got a test and there's, say, a workflow component and someone receives 5 emails, you can check that they received 5 emails for a given workflow process. If you want, you can recycle them, which means that it says there were 6 and they've been made available for popping again. Now we can step through them again. So if there was something in those emails, like a link, and you expect that link to be clicked more than once, you could fetch an email, you could grab the link, and then you could click on the link or simulate clicking on the link with your test, and then you could proceed to the next email, and if you wanted to do it all again, you could recycle. So what I've shown you now is the first most simple calls to deal with email processing to help you with your test automation. The next video will go into a lot more detail on subscription sets, so you can actually manage a group of email addresses. So I hope this helps you with your testing. Have a great day.